Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's been a lot um, with this whole situation. This convention is, this was busy. This was busy, okay? I'm coming to you live from StreamYard. This is my first time streaming on StreamYard, so I'll be able to stream to both my YouTube community and my Facebook community tonight. We're just testing on Facebook. YouTube, you will start to get these live meetings as well. So a bitch got glamour lighting, bitch. It's giving a glamour light moment. Okay, he's up close and personal. Okay, he's up close and personal. But okay, so first off, the first thing I noticed tonight, and maybe I missed it, but I watched most of this convention. I know some of you are saying, DDM, why are you watching this convention? I always like to know what the other side is thinking. Um, I always like to know what's going on. I think a lot of times we as people, we tend to go into our silos and we don't want to hear anything that anybody else has to say. Um, and I think that that is something that we need to kind of get away from. I personally think the convention was like the Twilight Zone, bitch. I mean, I went from laughing to being outright outraged to being annoyed. It's so many things that I was so upset about. I want to talk about a few things here. So the elephant in the room, the fucking naturalization ceremony. Okay, if that did not look like something off of television, that was reality TV. That was scripted television at the White House on national television. It was insane. Insane. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I want to make sure I say this the right way. I used to, read history books, watch documentaries about Nazi Germany, and you would say to yourself, I know I would say to myself, like, how did people like do this? Like, nobody said anything. Like, how was this okay to like a whole country, right? And then I looked at what I saw tonight and I realized how people like fall for shit, like how they feed into it. Okay. You have Mike Pompeo in another country on government business. Okay. Government business, stumping for a president in a political convention. And you're supposed to be representing the entire country, both Republican and Democrat, sir. It was a mess. The naturalization ceremony, once again, first off, it looked like if you ever seen Captain Planet, bitch, where they have like all of the teenagers from all around the world, wind, water, fire, earth, like the whole thing, right? It reminded me of like some Captain Planet shit. They was all in outfits kind of like resembling the country that they came from. It was very stereotypical. Like, you specifically picked out people from all these, from each individual. You had an Indian lady, you had an African man, you had a man from Bolivia. Like, it was just like so like crazy to me. Okay, and somebody's pointing out the hat chat, which we might want to look into that. But it was so crazy to me that this was allowed, and nobody, in the campaign said, "Wait a minute, okay, wait a minute." The abortion lady, somebody refresh me of her name because there was a lot of people that talked tonight, like crazy. Pam Bondi. Okay, Florida Attorney General, like just spitting out like a lot of propaganda. And like, ma'am, you're a whole lawyer. You know better than that. Okay? You know better than that. But here's one thing I want to talk about. Um, it was a few things, as much as the the right tries to, say, oh, the Democrats, they only play identity politics and they're gonna drop you off at the next election. Guess what? Y'all are playing identity politics too. Because that black lady, had an elderly black lady on there, and she basically like in so many ways downplayed racism, as if to say that, oh, I was alive in the civil rights movement, and that was, and I'm paraphrasing here. These weren't her exact words because I can't quite remember them. But the way it came off was like, in so many words, I lived during the civil rights era, bitch. That was real racism. What's going on now with Black Lives Matter? This isn't racism. We should all just sit down at the table and talk. Sis, we've been talking since you was out in the street busting it open, okay? Talking is not really like we've been talking for decades. Sis. Where has talking got you? Okay. Then this was the part of the convention where I got mad. And that's when they brought on Daniel Cameron, who is the Attorney General for the Breonna Taylor case in Kentucky. He's the Kentucky Attorney General. And this was the first night, because a lot of this shit is laughable, a lot of it is like disgusting, and a lot of it is nauseating. But I was legit angry because you're talking about Joe Biden and him saying you ain't black if you don't vote this and that. Sir, you are a black man in a state where a black woman who was a law-abiding citizen minded her goddamn business, sleep in her bed, was murdered, shot and killed in her sleep by the police. And you still haven't even arrested those cops yet. And you're the attorney general. And then it's something, and I want to, I don't know what it was, but it was something about when he said her name that just really burned me. Like it made me so angry. Like so, and I was like, my blood was boiling because I'm like, how dare you say this young lady's name after the injustice that you're serving her? How dare you do that? I was so annoyed by that. I couldn't stomach it. Then I was distracted by the razor bumps under his neck. It looked like you was washing your ass with bacon grease. It just was like just all of the razor bumps. Obviously, like I said online, you obviously don't have many black friends. You must still be using witch hazel, sis. You're gonna need a little bit more than that for that goddamn Captain Crunch, Little Debbie Star Crunch neck action you got going on. And his whole disposition just turned me off. Just like, here's the thing. And one thing he did say that I agree with, right? Black people are not monolithic. They're not. I don't just automatically, you know, feel like just because we're all black, we all think the same way. Because I know that's not true. I know that we all have our our differences. I know we all have our own opinions. Um, the black community of today isn't the same black community of 1965. It's just not, right? But it was like watching someone on like a Jordan Peele film. Like it was that scary because, and I don't know him personally, okay? But just the way that he came off he came off very detached and very out of touch with his people. And that was scary to me. That was very scary to me. And they've had a lot of people from different ethnic backgrounds speak at this convention so far in an attempt to appeal to you. But I felt like he was purchased. I feel like this is the same person. I think he helped with Mitch McConnell or some shit like that. So that kind of tell you where he coming from. But it was just something about it that just made me go crazy. It made me go absolutely bananas. And like I said, when he said Breonna Taylor's name, I couldn't take it. It was annoying. Okay. It was annoying to me. One thing that I noticed, and it could be because they don't see her as a threat. It could be because they don't want to be seen in a certain light, although with some of the shit they've said already and done already, I don't know why this would matter. But I noticed, they didn't explicitly or specifically come after Kamala Harris. You notice that? Now, maybe I missed it. I could be wrong because I'm not going to sit here and act like, bitch, I was tuned in with bated breath and popcorn because I wasn't, okay? But I have been watching for a good amount of time in this situation, what was going on, right? So, I'm looking and I'm like, nobody's talking about Kamala. Nobody said anything about Kamala. And if they did say something about Kamala, it was very much of the Biden-Harris campaign. But they didn't specifically go after Kamala. And I wonder if that, and this is where my Murder, She Wrote shit goes on, right? I wonder if that was strategic because they want to appeal to Black women voters. They don't want to piss that demographic off. I mean, maybe that's it. I'm not sure, but I thought that was very interesting that they didn't do that. Melania's speech, if I believed it, actually wasn't bad. I know y'all like, now wait a goddamn minute. Wait a goddamn minute, bitch. I know y'all like, now wait a goddamn minute. Okay. But if notice I said if I believed it, because we know she ain't write it. And that's no shade to her. I just know she ain't write it. But if I believed it, it actually wasn't bad. And that's just facts. That's just facts. I'm not saying that I fuck with her, although she was sent to the guards. The tailoring was on point. Y'all know I always got to throw a fashion observation in there. But it wasn't a bad speech. And if I didn't see what I see every day on the news, I would have actually believed it a little bit. But when I see what's happening on the news, when I see what's happening right in front of my face in everyday life and living, forget the news, just like walking down the street, it was a load of shit. Okay. As far as I know, because the speech was actually very skewed and geared towards current events, I don't think she stole this one from anybody. I don't think this is another, Michelle Obama creation. But I do think, it was, for what it was worth, it wasn't bad. Okay. I also think that they sent her out to put a pretty red bow on a bunch of slander and bullshit that they've been preaching for the last 2 nights. I think she was the one. Let's send, honey, let's send Melania out. She'll talk to the people. It'll be nice. She'll make them feel warm and fuzzy, and then we'll go home. I think that's what, um, kind of. Somebody said she was giving North Korea meets prison camp runway, bitch, and that's spot on. Okay, it's spot on. I actually like doing this from StreamYard, by the way, because I can see your comments and everything and say hi to you, and you know that's really cool. But anyway, I thought it wasn't bad. Trump, on the other hand, um, Trump is just doesn't speak to me. None of them speak to me, but I think, and this is probably on purpose, I think Eric Trump was sent out to make young white men feel good about voting for him, or young white men feel good about supporting Trump, because nothing he said or did spoke to me. If anything, it annoyed me more than anything. Um, I was more. You're very welcome, Bonita. I was very annoyed. And here's the thing, guys. Like, I try to, and this is just a personal observation, right? I try to see both sides of the fence, or at least have a cool head, right? But I think about where we were at in 2016. I think about where we were at in 2018, right? And I feel like as people, as United States citizens, our patience is very thin. I think our level of reason has gone out the window. I don't think that we're very reasonable anymore, in the sense that these conventions look like pet rallies for two football teams. It doesn't even remotely give, we're trying to convince that undecided voter. I think at this point, and I say this all the time, we are so split as a country, it's literally going to come down to the ballot box. I think, um, I honestly feel like there's no more convincing that can be done. Um, I feel like people are set in the decisions that they're going to make. Like, we pretty much know who we're voting for at this point. There's really no discussion to be had. I mean, sure, you have those folks that are like, well, what is the Democrats going to do for us? I'm going to be fucking honest with you. They ain't going to do shit. Yeah, I said it. They ain't going to do shit. But stop the bleeding, whatever that may be. What is the Republicans going to do for you? You living in it right now, okay? You living in it. I don't like living like this. So even if the Democrats do nothing but just stop the bleeding and just like kind of keep things at bay, I'm gonna go with that because I don't want to live like this. Okay, I don't want to live like this. And here's the thing: it's not even me not wanting to live like this because of day to day living in the country. I look at the global standing. Um, I look at where we are in the world stage, and that's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the damage that is being done globally. It bothers me that I have a United States passport and I'm not allowed in hella countries right now. When has that ever happened to us? Ever. It bothers me that I can't have civil conversations. Let me tell you, I got into it with my Uber driver over the weekend. I'm in the car. He picks me up. Mind you, the ride ain't even a long goddamn ride. Okay? He picks me up. There's a huge sign where I live that says defund BPD. That's the Baltimore Police Department. So he goes, "That's a big sign." I was like, "Yeah, ha ha ha." Continue listening to music. So what he goes, and this is how I know he's a Trump supporter. He goes, "Why? That is so stupid. Why would people want to defund? What do you think would happen with no police?" And I had to tell him, and I didn't want to have this conversation because it's like nighttime. I'm ready to go home, watch my shows. And I go, "Sir, well, they're not saying no police, not have police. Okay, that's not what defund the police means." And I could tell that he wanted to argue, but I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm a big boy. It was late at night. And in my mind, this is how I know that I'm not living in a safe place. This is how I know I'm not safe as a black man in this country, right? Because you know what entered my mind? And mind you, this is not a black man driving a car. This is, I think he was like he was European or like Spanish or something like that, right? In my mind, I was thinking, and mind you, he and I could be wrong, but he seemed like he came to the country, like he wasn't born here. He wasn't born here, right? He immigrated to the United States. And all I can think of in my mind is if he's thinking like this and he's asking me about the police, he could possibly have a concealed carry, right? Concealed carry is when um you're able to carry a weapon or open carry. You can basically carry your weapon around. And the first thing as a black man that popped in my mind is I thought about the headline. Me and him get to arguing. Y'all already know I talk with my hands. I'm a big guy. He gets nervous. And suppose he has a gun on him. He pull out that gun. Now my mother on the news crying. Y'all online defending me, talking about, oh, he was a nice guy. He was well informed. He was politically inclined. And now my life is over because some fool driving an Uber wants to argue about defunding the police when I wasn't even saying shit to him and listening to motherfucking Earth, Wind, and Fire, ready to go home and get my goddamn bed. So that's when I had to remove myself from that situation and say, you know what? My house is literally only 3 minutes away in this car. Let me turn my music up and stop talking to this man. Because the way my enthusiasm is, it'll get misconstrued for anger and being aggressive, and then I'm gonna be dead if he got something on him. Or he might feel threatened and call the police on my ass, and then I come out my front door and there's cops, two cop cars out in front of my house with four fucking cops for one man with fucking acrylics on. So when you ask, as a black Republican, when you go and you defend these people, I want you to think about what I just said and the reality. Because I am one of the more, I am a smart person, right? I like to think I'm a smart person. I was thinking in the moment, but suppose I wasn't thinking in the moment. I'd have either had the cops called on me, got kicked out the car, or either me and him would have been arguing or he would have shot me if he had something on him because he felt threatened. You know what I did do? I did what white ladies did, bitch. I wished him a good night when I got out the car, smiled in his face, waved him goodbye, went on my Uber app, gave his ass one fucking star, and I sent the email to corporate, bitch. That's how you do it, okay? That's how you do it, okay? That's how you do it. I ain't fitting to argue with you. Ain't no more arguing. We ain't arguing in 2021. We ain't doing that. And you know what happened? Thanks to his dumb ass, I've been taking Ubers for free all goddamn week since Sunday, bitch. Thank you. Yes. I ain't pull a Karen. I pulled a Keisha, bitch. Okay? Gotcha. But that's how you gotta do it. We gotta be smart. And I say that to say this. Um, and watching this convention, because one thing I noticed about this convention versus the Democratic convention, if we being shallow, the production value, because I ain't never seen so many chalky paint jobs in the makeup department in my motherfucking life. Okay. If they trying to appeal, you know what I got just from looking at the convention? If they trying to appeal to the average American, what they basically saying is the average American have terrible shape ups, bad cheap wigs, and they can't afford makeup artists. That's what they saying the average American is if we basing it off of the goddamn look. Okay. Um that's what it's giving. I also too I went to the Republican National Convention website and I went to the GOP website, right? Just to see what it's giving. Because for the Democratic Convention, I went to the website to see what it's giving. Evidently, all of the great, website designers must be Democrats too, bitch. Because the GOP website, that shit, like I said, it looks like some shit off of Wix. Squarespace is busy as hell. As soon as you get on the website, they ask you for money. It's a big ass pop up asking you for donations, bitch. Okay, it's just crazy. Everybody look coked up. Okay, you had Rita Repulsa on there last night, the campaign fundraiser. Okay, it was just a lot. But I say this to say that to say this. Um, I got my email, by the way, about being an election judge and a process and the classes that's getting restarted because we can get ready for that. I think I'm going to document that process so that you guys can follow along. Also, too, make sure you have, if you haven't already, to request your mail-in ballots, um, and so you can get those in, and just stay and be blessed. Um, I also asked my cabinet members to keep me in their prayers. I'm going through a tough family situation right now, and I love you guys. And I'm just asking for you guys to keep me and my family in your prayers. If you believe in God or whatever being you believe, higher power, just keep me in your good grace. And because we got some scary days coming in our family, so I definitely want you to keep me in your thoughts. As always, you can follow me on social media at Dapper Damitis on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and the whole Chappelle. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and click the bell for notifications at the top. You can also donate if you like. to my Venmo, Cash App, Dapper Dan Midas. We are actually working on some upgrades. Submitted for a request for a few things, so I'm looking forward to that as well. But as always, I feel blessed and highly favored. I know that we're going to make it through this. I know it's been a tough couple of years dealing with this presidency, um, and we deserve better. Um, God willing, we will get better, um, and move forward and start looking ahead so that we can have a great place to raise our children. For those of you who have kids, for those of you who um, are trying to do better and move forward in your careers and jobs, and as Black people and people of color as well, being able to walk down the street and not be afraid for your life from people who are supposed to be working to preserve your safety and quality of life. But with that, oh, Paulina in South Korea. Wow, that's crazy. Um, but with that being said, I love you guys dearly. Y'all have a great evening. It's late. We've never gone this late before. Y'all be blessed, and I will see you soon. Chappelle.